Okay, it's a 113 degrees outside. There's almost no wind and high humidity. I'm having to take a lot of breaks today. I had to come in. I mean, I'm just feeling the heat. The noise in the background is my washer machine running. Sorry. I'm getting more blue shirts. Got to wear a blue shirt, man. Okay. This is an outing of the porch video, the first one that I told you I'd be breaking up. They're commenting on. Because there's a lot of things that we go through on this porch. I mean, we'll just start from there. And again, remember the other video I showed you where she said, you know, her perception was different from reality because she's getting ready to start whining here about her high blood pressure and this and that and this and that. And that I'm causing all these problems. And as you can see here on the video, what you're seeing sitting right here in this chair and me talking is the same way I deal with her every time. Okay? I mean, yes, she triggers me sometimes. Yes, I get mad. Yes, I say things maybe I shouldn't. But that's normal. I mean, we're all going to do that as human beings. So, anyway, we're going to listen to some of that. And then what we're going to do is get into the Suzanne thing. And I'll try to break that down and tell you the non-gaslighted version and the text messages I have from that. But here we go on this. Oh, why didn't that, okay.
Getting around back on me. Okay. Well,
Sure.
all right. Just, I'm already hit my blood pressure. You've known about the health problems for.
One other thing too, I had a friend of mine that watched this video, and he is a recovering drug addict. And he said if you watch her and the way she keeps doing that water and jerking around and doing that water real quick like that, he said that's common for tweakers, and that it really kind of looks like she's on dope. Tara's always had a substance abuse problem. I mean, she's always done drugs. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine who called me the other day because he found out about the divorce. And I was like, you remember that time we were playing Dungeons and Dragons and she OD'd? He goes, oh yeah. I said, yeah, and I had to rush home to fucking save her because she OD'd on drugs that she probably had sex with somebody to get, because I don't know how she got it otherwise, because she didn't have no fucking money. But maybe around, yeah, so he remembered that at least. So. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. And notice her movements. They're not normal, I'll give you that.
Years now. I told you about heart problems, about high blood pressure. I begged you, right in there, I begged you, please stop causing me health problems. Please quit arguing with me. Please quit telling me I said shit I didn't say.
Okay. Please stop arguing with me. Here's the thing. This is typical gaslighter manipulation. You can see how much I'm arguing with it. I'm not. Okay? But she will start the argument and carry the argument on, even if I don't participate in it, and then blame me for it. Because that's what they do.
Accusing me of shit I didn't do. Stop calling me names. Stop being hostile to me. Stop abusing me. I beg. Please. I have health problems. They're getting worse. What did you do? You kept on doing it, kept on doing it, kept on doing it. So I ended up in the hospital. You know, the hospital records, they asked me, what's going on? So I told them about my environment causing me stress.
Okay. She's creating the environment to cause herself stress and try to blame it on everybody else. That's typical victimization of a narcissist. So, the environment you see right here, I mean, this is the most contentious part of our environment we ever deal with. Most of the time, especially like when my brother's here and she comes in the house, we both just stop talking even. We'll just wait until she does her little thing, whatever it's going to be, and leaves, and we'll go back to talking, just to avoid, because anything and everything will trigger her. We were sitting at the table talking about something one day, I remember what it was, and she was doing her thing, and we were just trying to ignore her. And one of us said something, I don't remember if it was me or Scotty, and she went off, you guys always, like we're both teaming up against her or something. But again, that comes back to the isolation that she tried in December. That's why she cut me off with sex. Yeah, so it kind of goes around story on that.
He said I was this close to going into renal failure again. Just like when you and Suzanne were pulling me each way like a puppet.
Notice me and Suzanne were doing
You blackmailed me into coming here. You said,
No, I didn't.
statute of limitations is up now, so I can go ahead.
Okay. We're both, alright, she just claimed that me and Suzanne were both tag teaming her. And blackmailing her. This is, I don't know if you can see that. All right. Some of the classic comments made from manipulators. You know, I have always had you and always will. I have your back and always have and will. Bill did not. That is the number one thing said by a manipulator. I love you, sister. Number two thing. And then, oh, not to mention what is going to happen if you move Buford and Pee-wee. Pee-wee was my dog, by the way. But either way, they don't need these changes going on at this time. If you just hang on, you'll be happier if you stay. And all this manipulation coming in. And I'll tell you this much. Well, in the sole beneficiary of the property and all this stuff, since he's trying to give her all these rewards, that's the bait, is that, hey, I'm giving you the property and all these insurance policies. Okay? Just come on over to my dark side, because I've got cookies. All right, so either way around, that's the manipulation that she says that I blackmailed her. All right, let's go through the story, because her memory of events, she's got some elements of the events, but they're out of order. So let's go through it. Oh, dang it, why do I keep doing that? I hit the wrong button, guys.
If I didn't pick your team, you're going to turn me in. You have the paperwork right there with Marcus. You and Marcus got together, the Rice County, or whoever the fuck, DA, you said you had a piece of paper ready to press charges on me because Suzanne tricked me and go through the window of that house to unlock the door. Me not thinking, well, check with the police.
Okay, what she's talking about right there, Suzanne's ex-husband died, and Suzanne wanted some of the stuff from that property. I don't know what exactly it was, whatever. And that supposedly Tara got tricked into breaking into and burglarizing that house down there. Okay, let me back up a little bit because this is outing Tara for something. Now, when me and Tara were first kind of starting to date and everything, this should have been a big warning sign. And I didn't find out about it until after it was all said and done. By then, I had my hands dirty and just kind of kept my mouth shut. Tara was screaming about having me bring my dad's truck down there and move a bunch of stuff over to Wendell, which is her other boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. I don't know what to call it. Had to move all this stuff around. We took one big load up there, and we had to keep it covered in case of rain. And I was like, it's no chance of rain, but we had to keep it covered, whatever. I just wasn't thinking it through. I was just trying to get it done. I don't even remember why I was doing it, but it doesn't matter. And the second load, Wendell's dad wouldn't let us bring it in there, and Tara's like, well, we got to get rid of it. Well, then I finally got the story. Her next door neighbors down in Kingswood Mobile Home Park, like Dallas, had went out of town. Tara was out of food, she says, so she broke into their house and stole all their food, every bit of the food out of their house. Then she decided she wanted all the furniture. And I think maybe that guy Wendell was involved with it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But they went in there, or she went in there, and stole every stick of furniture out of that house. It's like, really? Okay. So, this isn't something new for Tara to burglarize a house, is what I'm trying to say.
Said you had a piece of paper ready to press charges on me because Suzanne tricked me and go through the window of that house to unlock the door. Me not thinking, well, check with the boyfriend. Okay? You sat there and said, well, you have a choice. You can, tell Suzanne, fuck off, leave here, and I won't have to press charges. Okay, won't have to press charges, or you stay here, and I don't have any choice but to proceed with it. And you're going to go tell us, what's going to happen to Buford? You're like, what? I can't help it. Mark's going to press charges on you.
Okay.
We've already talked. You were standing right out there by that tree in the back. I remember very clearly.
Okay.
That's called blackmail, in case you don't know that.
Okay, no.
Tell me I have to do something.
That's the way you. Let's talk about.
What I said there is that's the way you remember it, because I know Tara well enough not to even argue it. That's the way she remembers it. That's not what actually happened, but that's the way she remembers it.
Let's not go back, because you've already started this.
Okay.
Let's not go back. So the way you perceive this is that you were doing blah, 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 whatever, that I forced you to leave there with me, or that I was going to file charges. Okay.
That's what you said.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay. All right.
That becomes the problem right there. See,
That is the problem.
again, the way you perceive it.
Okay, what do
Okay,
you mean? And what do you mean by it? What do you mean by it?
That's not what I said.
No, what do you mean by it when you said, you know, when you and Suzanne broke into this
Yeah, I know. We were talking about you and her breaking in that house because you and her were going to try to fuck me.
No, she was going to try to fuck me.
See, notice how she suddenly switched blame? Okay? Because you can tell by some of the texts and everything else I had. Her and Suzanne were tight. They were both against me. And they were going to try to screw me. They went to Richard Forsyth, one of my old business partners. They told him all sorts of crazy stuff. I've got text messages from Suzanne that she sent to him. And he immediately screen captured it and sent it to me. He said, man, you better watch these crazy nuts. I said, you're going to get in trouble with them. And I was like, yeah, tell me about it. So either way, they were trying to screw me over every way they could. I found out every time I left the house, I was going up to Oklahoma. We were separated at the time. I was trying to meet a woman up there, really. So I was trying to do what women I did meet, I wasn't really interested in. So either way around, every time I left the house, they called Wise County Sheriff and said, he's in that white Corvette drinking and driving again. Every single time I left, trying to get me pulled over, trying to get me arrested, just like terrorists trying to get me red flagged and get my guns taken away, which started this whole mess. I was just going to be nice and just, whatever. Anyway, so look at this next part.
No, you were in bed with her during the whole fucking thing.
She was mentally manipulating me as well.
Look at that fucking camera and tell me. Alright, someone planned to murder me after having sex with me by giving me an insulin injection for a $250,000 insurance policy, right?
No, she was talking about...
No.
No, she was talking...
You manipulate things
No,
in the
you know
conversation.
what? You know what?
Here's the thing.
Hey, I'm mentally ill. I misperceived what she said. Remember? I'm mentally ill.
There you go. Isn't that Brian does that same
Well,
thing?
you know what? It works for you. Anytime I want to say something, oh, you're mentally ill, you know what I'm talking about. I didn't plan on murdering
Let me ask you again.
That was her idea.
See, notice, it was her idea. It wasn't mine. Just like it was her idea to break in that house, but Tara did it. Put two and two together here about how dangerous she can be. It was Suzanne's idea to break in that house, and she didn't understand that it was, breaking and entering, so she did it. And then it's like, I didn't understand it was murder to kill you. Back it up a little bit here and listen to it. Think for it yourself.
You, anytime I want to say something, oh, you're mentally ill, you know what I'm talking about.
Let me ask you again.
That was her idea.
Okay, she's the one that brought up murdering me, and you were okay with it.
No, I didn't take her seriously. I just laughed it off because she's always talking about stupid crazy shit.
Okay, but you told me about it, didn't you?
Yeah, because I didn't.
Okay, now stop.
See? So she told me about it. Pay attention.
We're trying to establish...
Okay. I told you about it because I thought it was a joke.
We're trying to establish why I said what I said in defense.
Okay.
We were setting out defense when we had this conversation.
You also said that she might murder me.
No, let's back up and do this one step at a time.
And yes, I did say that, but she's trying to skip over the actual facts. She's trying to change the gaslight. That's what she's trying to do.
So at this point in time, you admitted to me that Suzanne, it was just...
I think you found out about it.
Okay.
And that cut out. That's a Ring camera. Suzanne just made a joke. It was only a joke, and she was going to kill me for all this life insurance money. Right.
So now that we've established that up to this point, that's when I told you. Okay. It's like, okay, if we're going to play this game, okay, I've got, warrants, everything else about you breaking into that fucking house and stealing this shit. That's when that came up. It wasn't about manipulating you, and you just admitted it 2 minutes ago, and I'd be happy to fucking play the tape back. You told me that she'll murder me next, and I said, yeah, she will. If she is willing to murder me for that fucking insurance policy, you're next.
Then you showed the paperwork. Then I was like, she's not going to...
See, now she admits the truth. That after we went through the whole breakdown where Suzanne did plan to murder me and get her to do it, just like she got her to break into that house, that then she would murder her just as easy. I mean, if you kill one person, you kill two. Once you go down that road, you're going down that road. And now we're talking about, okay, if you guys want to play this games with me, I'm going to get nasty too. I'm going to turn this over to the DA because my hands were dirty in it. And I never finished explaining that maybe. They turned around, they didn't have a truck or trailer. And they had a bunch of big stuff they wanted to get out. I guess they had to call. And suddenly they were my buddies and friends again. They were like, hey. And I was like, and I remember asking them something, did you get finally? Oh yeah, they finally gave us permission. Because I knew they were fighting. I did try not to get in their business. I knew they were fighting with that family over there about getting in that house and getting some of the stuff that Suzanne wanted for whatever reason. I was like, all right, fine. I said, but I'm only going to make one trip. Went down there. She goes, well, they said that anything that's left in this house right now we can take because everything's going in the trash or whatever. I was like, well, hell, I'd like to have a TV. And so, we did. I loaded that stuff, whatever. We were there for however long. Then, of course, I found out after the fact, they didn't have permission to get in there. Tara admitted that they broke into the goddamn place. And I was like, well, great. I got freaking stolen TV sitting up. Yeah. So, man, I'm telling you. Anyway, so my hands were dirty. I didn't want to do that.
For me,
Whatever.
and then you started bringing out the paperwork and saying, well, I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to have to...
If you were going to play the fucking game to fuck me over with her, guess what? I can fuck back. That's how that conversation went down. I even told you then and there, and we need to make sure this is clear. I told you then and there. You need to make your choice.
Yeah?
Okay,
All
here
right,
you go.
so here we go. I'm going to say something.
How do you speak?
Well, I'm going to say something. Don't let me forget.
No, go, hurry up.
All right. That was shortly after I got out of the hospital because both you guys had me so mentally
Here comes another excuse.
No, it's not. It's a fact. It's a fact. Both of you guys going back and forth using me as a pawn.
Okay. So we just got her to admit to all of that stuff that she swears isn't true. Oh, yeah, she swears it isn't true. So we got her to admit to all of it. And now she tries to play it off of, I had health problems because of what you guys were doing to me, right? This is the text message that Sarah sent me after Suzanne sent her that one I just showed you. Okay? Suzanne is blackmailing her into staying. She wants to get in her pre-mobile, and she's losing her mind. She can't sleep. That's another thing that's a problem with her. She wants to leave now if possible, but she's going to get ambushed. She needs help. She's the one, Suzanne, is the one causing all the emotional turmoil. Texts don't lie. That's the full story, not Tara's gaslighted version of the story.
Someone sent me to the hospital. I almost died.
Who?
I almost died.
Okay, who drove their fucking Corvette at 100 miles an hour through fucking red lights to get you to the fucking hospital? It sure the fuck wasn't her, was it?
No, it was you wanting to be the hero. To look good.
Me wanting to be the hero. Just like that text where I'm the hero. Come save me, hero, because I'm in trouble. Help me. That's been our repeated relationship all the time. And it's unfortunately what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to get her help. If she will go in there to her counselors or therapists that she really has and tell them the truth about what's going on, maybe she can get some help. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
I guess you always want to be the hero, the victim.
See, you always want to be the hero, the big man. She used to tell me she looked up to me for these things. That almost sounds bad. It almost sounds like I am a narcissist if I say that. I've always tried to help people. I've always tried to be the hero, the comic book hero guy. I have. I've always tried to help people. But I didn't do it because I was obligated or whatever. I did it because it's the right thing to do. Either way.
This is typical narcissistic bullshit right here. Hi. Fall over right here. Yep.
Okay. What you just said right there. When we went out to party the other day or whatever, I did so with some of our old friends. And every one of them in that car told me that every time they turned around, Tara was accusing them of being a narcissist. Oh, you're a narcissist because of blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're a narcissist because of blah, blah, blah. Everything you do is a narcissist, Tara. Okay? And what that is projecting. She's, sadly, she's a narcissist. So she's trying to call everybody else a narcissist. So it makes her try to look normal somehow. I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna lower this shit, okay? We can see you're ashamed of
Yeah, you're safe. I had my say about it. I gave you the choice then and there because I told you I'd never come back for you. I'd abandon you. You're done. If you believe she wouldn't murder you, too fucking bad. I'm done. I give up. I'm done.
Notice what I say there, because that's exactly what I did tell her. At that minute.
Remember the letter I sent you back to your door, which said, I give up. I'm done.
And then if I didn't give you sex, I had to get the fuck out now.
That's not what I said.
I can reread it.
Guilty, we'll bring it up here.
It's in a safe place. It's not there anymore. You think I'm going to leave it here on this property?
That's okay, because I got to